and with the other 400 planets or mansions in the universe. Voodoo was one of the fallen angels that rebelled with Septeniel. During the physical reign here on this planet, Septeniel gave 7 of his top-ranking captains control over the continents. Voodoo controls Africa. Beelzebub was given the dominion over the land of Asia and is known as Buddha today. During their reign, it was not all that different from our own time today. Think of it like this. Septeniel rules over the 7 continents. Under Septeniel was given kingship over the continents. Now under the kings would be a governor, and under that a magistrate, and so on. Does this sound familiar? Now, when you read in Revelation about the 7 heads and the 10 horns, you will understand and put the pieces together and know how this all began. The 7 heads are the 7 continents, and the 10 horns are the rulers and which are subject to his power. Today, this is the beast of the United Nations, controlling the continents, etc., as they are the offspring of Septeniel and the 3rd that followed him in the battle. Then casted out today, reside in high places today. Yes, Lilith played a part in this, as did Kali. They were the whores. In India today, their religious leaders are called Kali priests. Not to worry, we will win in this end, and all things will be made new, which brings me to another point. January is not the new year, as most people believe. April is the beginning of life. Is it really that complicated for people to understand that life cannot start in the winter? Silly. The Feast of Tabernacles is our new year. January is a month named after one of the Gregory that fell from the table of Yahweh, or the 5th dimension. Janus has a temple in Rome built in his honor, which is called Ionis, or Geminis, from the Geminid constellation, meaning twin Janus, not to confuse it with Cain and Abel or Esau and Jacob. But this is why he is depicted with having 2 heads, one face looking forward and the other face looking backwards. Janus was the key to the gateway from this dimension into the next. The concepts of January and janitor are both Janus. The Catholics say that Janus is a god of both war and peace, etc. And this national holiday is celebrated in the past on December 31st, and in the future on the January 1st. This gateway or doorway, if you prefer, is why so many idiots make new beginnings and transitions into a false new year. Just as Janus's transition from the 5th dimension into the 3rd. Janus lays the blame on his fall on Jupiter and Saturn, not himself. But why is that surprising? Adam did the same thing when he points the finger and blames Yahweh and Eva for his fall from light. As always, passing the buck. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop giving resolutions to Janus. Ionis equals Janus, and equals Januarus equals January. Not much different in the weeks of the day. Monday is Moon Day. Tuesday is Mars Day. Wednesday is Woden's Day. Thursday is Thor's Day. Friday is Freya's Day. Saturday is Saturn or Satan's Day. And Sunday is Sun God Day. Notice that Saturday and Sunday are named after Septeniel and his son Cain, who was worshipped as the sun god. Mars has always been known as the morning star and the evening star, and this is the planet he was ruler of. So just below is the real days of the week, and who they represent along with the Mazzaroth signs to whom they are assigned. Now, if you take the word Satan and put the letter N and place it just before the letter T, you find the spelling comes to be Santa. Most people will agree that Santa Claus is also known as jolly old Saint Nick. And if you were to look into the history of the Roman Catholic Church, you would find that Saint Nicholas was born on December 6th. He became a bishop of Myra and was a proselyte. So to turn to the 10th chapter of Jeremiah and read verses 1 through 25, the entire chapter, you will notice that the entire chapter is one condemnation of the practice of this heathen pagan winter solstice tree worship. This happens to be the darkest time of the year. On this day, the tree is decorated with gold and silver. And did I mention earlier that Septeniel and his devils would decorate themselves with silver and gold? Today this practice is still done. All year long, the fathers work to place gifts under this solstice tree. And when the morning arrives, the little ones bow down in worship before the tree to open gifts. Pay attention now. Are you getting this? The winter solstice is when it is dark, the longest time out of the year, i.e. evening, and is when the parents place gifts under the tree, not in recognition to Yahweh the Christ, but to Satan, Santa. And in the morning comes the blowing or bowing of the son of Santa or Satan, Septeniel. Not much different in how Whitey bows to the Jew every day of every year. Septeniel is symbolically having people believe that the evening and morning belong to him. The tree, as we know, also represents a racial, i.e. family tree. You say, no, that's not true? Well, you're wrong. Did not Yahweh say that I am the vine and you are the branches? So, if you turn to Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21, you will find that we are planted a holy and noble vine unto Yahweh. And in Isaiah 5, verse 7, we find out who is a member of this vine. Read John chapter 15, 1 through 8. Now turn to Matthew chapter 13 and read again the story of the tares and the wheat. It will reference you to Ezekiel chapter 28 and 31, when speaking of the cedar tree, whom is symbolic for Septeniel in the time of the garden, and is now a counterfeit vine or tree. See also the books of Joel, chapter 1 and 2. And as we read in 2 Ezra 9, verses 20 through 22. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, because of the devices that were to come into it. And I saw and spread it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and the plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish, them which were born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Revelation 19, 11 through 16, and Revelation 14, 14 through 20 is good reading as well. You say Christmas is a time to remember the birth of Christ? Well, wrong again. The 25th of December, well, wrong again. First of all, Yahweh the Christ was born September 29th, and not the 25th of December. Furthermore, Jeremiah wrote of this long before the first Advent. Read Deuteronomy 7, 1 through 6, where we are told what to do with these groves and the heathen nations that adhere to these pagan customs. We are not to be like the other nations of the earth. We are to come out from among them. Read 2 Corinthians 6, 14 through 18. Yahweh the Christ came to fulfill the law and the prophets. Read Matthew 5, 17 through 20. Now ask for them to take down their tree and decorations, and they say no. And some even become hostile.